Breaking Benjamin here on Full Metal Attack. That was The Diary of Jane. Great song by
really
them.
good song.
And then before that, we had Leave All the Lights On from A Day to Remember. Their new album, Common Courtesy, as I said, they self-released it as a 13-track album. Later released it as a 16-track album, which was given for free, a digital download to the people who bought the self-released album. I was one of those. They remember putting out some great music.
I mean, you hear that, and then you hear, some of the other things off the same album, and it's really diverse.
It's very diverse. I mean, you have songs called Life Lessons Learned the Hard Way. I cannot play that song on the air for different reasons, FCC regulations as well.
Mission consistency.
But it's a heavy song. And then you get to this song, and it's very, happy-go-lucky, okay. And it's about a song about, I believe, from what I've taken from it, a guy breaking up with a girl or a girl fighting with the guy. They're in a relationship, and he leaves, and he's basically telling her, I'm going to leave, but if you want me to come back, if you don't want to let me go, leave the lights on.
Right.
Almost like a Motel 6, like you were saying before.
We'll leave the light on for you.
Yeah, we'll leave the light on for you.
Anyway.
But yeah, just leave the lights on, and he says, maybe I'll find my way back home, kind of a thing.
And, it reminds me, I don't want to say they're like an exact copy, but it's sort of like Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Listening off the Use Your Illusion double album, which I actually had picked up a couple of years ago at a book sale for $1 a piece.
Oh.
Talk about a steal.
Yeah.
Yeah, a double album for $2. Yeah, I'll take it. And I always want to listen to it. And you listen to the diversity of the songs on those two albums, and just you go from things like Civil War to Get in the Ring to Bad Apples to Estranged and Coma and Locomotive, and they're just so different and so diverse, and all the same band. And that's why Guns N' Roses is probably my favorite band of all time. Even though they only lasted for not a long time, because of how diverse they were.
Yes, they are very diverse, and they were very diverse.
Were they diverse?
Like you were saying, they were diverse. But A Day to Remember and For Today, as you know, For Today, they are not in these sets. I know that I've been playing a lot of them lately, so we wanted to switch it up. However, A Day to Remember and For Today are my favorite bands. I can put,
along with Asking Alexandria.
Well, they kind of dropped because of their latest album. And also their attitude. Sometimes they seem very I don't know,
snooty.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. They at one point during a show came out on stage and said, "We are the best band in the world." And okay, you can be confident, you can be a band, but don't actually believe in yourself saying we are the best band in the world, like telling your audience that.
Now, if they had said, "Who's the greatest band walking the face of the earth?" they would have been like, "Asking Alexandria," and then it would have worked,
But they, I don't even think they shouted out the other bands on the tour either. Yeah, it seemed very just not professional, and that kind of after that tour, I was like, all right, their album Reckless and Relentless was good. And then they came out with From Death to Destiny, and it was not what I was thinking. It was a big letdown.
Why?
So it's not Asking Alexandria. I was looking for a stereotypical Asking Alexandria song, meaning they do typical metalcore. They are the definition of metalcore. They do heavy songs, heavy this, heavy that, and that's what I was looking for in the album because I wanted to hear new music from them. By that, there was maybe 2 or 3 songs, From Death to Destiny, Don't Pray for Me, and Run Free, which I played on the show before. Those are the only songs that really stuck out to me. I have maybe like a 12, 13 song album, and that really disappointed me.
Reminds me too to do another GNR comparison of Chinese Democracy. That was the GNR album, the Guns N' Roses album. For those of you who don't know, was delayed for about 10 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
And then finally it was going to be released and it had been leaked, and I got the album for Christmas, and I got to tell you, I was going back, 4 or 5 years.
Right.
I got to say, it was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, a lot of it is disappointing. I mean, even with video games, everyone was raving for the Duke Nukem game. Duke Nukem Forever. It's horrible. It was pushed back like 10 years. It's horrible. People out there will disagree with my opinion, but I do not like that game.
I haven't even played
And it was the most anticipated game in the world. Like, it was like they made such a big deal out of it, and it was nothing compared to Battlefield or,
Right.
something.
Because the video game industry had kind of passed it by.
Yeah.
And by the time
Big
they
time.
finally released it, the same thing with Chinese Democracy. I mean, yes, it was not the Guns N' Roses lineup from back in the 80s of Axl Rose and Slash and, wow, I just lost it, Gilby Clarke and the drummer whose name has escaped me right now, Steven Adler.
Right.
It's a totally different lineup with Bumblefoot as the guitarist and such.
Yeah.
And I think even Buckethead did a track or two. And yeah,
Whatever happened to him?
I don't know.
Buckethead, I haven't seen anything. I mean, the only song.
Hasn't found a good KFC buckets lately put on his head? I don't know. I don't know. But the point is that it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. But even still, with a different lineup, it's
Right.
The Chinese Democracy was a good song. Shackler's Revenge is a pretty good. Shackler's Revenge is a pretty good song, and there was one other that I thought was good. Everything else was just very mediocre.
It was blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same way I felt with the Asking Alexandria. Of course, I respect all the bands. I do like Asking Alexandria. They are just not my favorite anymore. I Day to Remember and For Today have really stepped up their game, and they have really shown what this music is about. Now, there's people out there that will disagree with me, and that's fine. But I think that A Day to Remember is a band who can appeal to the masses, to everyone. With songs like Leave All the Lights On, you can have someone who likes house music and hates heavy metal and like that song. That means they like A Day to Remember. They like that song by A Day to Remember.
Yes.
Then you have people on the extreme other side who like very heavy songs, and A Day to Remember has a lot of those too. And it just appeals to everyone. And I just think that they really hit the mark on that, and that's why their market for people buying music is huge. A Day to Remember, I feel like, is the hugest band out there right now. I mean, you can say whatever you want. They are the hugest band out there. They have to be.
That a word?
Hugest?
Yeah.
I made it a word for A Day to Remember. Biggest band, all right? I'll switch it up for Nick.
There we go.
There we go. The biggest band out there. All right. And then, of course, For Today is just awesome. So, on to the weather report. Some great news, actually, coming our way for the weather. Tonight's going to be a low of 20, going cold, partly cloudy and cold. Tomorrow, variable clouds, not as cold, a high of 39. Jumping to Saturday, milder with clouds and sun, a high of 48. This weather report's brought to you by Iona College. Move the world.
That was actually a very nice weather report.
It was.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Because I'm sure that during our spring break, while everyone's out in Cancun and Tijuana and Arizona and Florida, we're going to be stuck here, and it's going to snow 6 feet. That's probably what's going to happen.
You are a killer of dreams.
Yes, I am.
You just, wow. Okay. We got a second set here from me, Pete Considori from Full Metal Attack. Heavier. Substantially heavier. We're going to go with some Disturbed. And then we're going to go with some Devil Wears Prada off their Zombies EP. We're going to play Anatomy. And then after that, we're going to play like Moths to Flames, which is the band I saw with For Today. I promised that the next show I'd play. And it will be the song You Won't Be Missed. But first, we have some Asylum. Disturbed here on Full Metal Attack on WICR.